Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Daan ten Haven and I'm working for the company called Kiwa. We are based in the Netherlands, in Apeldoorn, in the center of the Netherlands, and we are a testing, inspection and certification company. I'm representing also as a member of the PIB HiNet, also for this webinar, and I will try to give you a short introduction about Kiwa. And what we're about to do and what we're doing at the moment and what our future plans look like for the automotive industry. Well, as you can see here, we are an international based company centralized in the Netherlands, where our headquarters are. Up till now, about 4,650 people working at Kiwa. Represents offices in around 40 countries throughout the world. We are also represented in China. Kiwa China is based in Guangzhou. We are trying to maintain our position in the testing, inspection and certification world. At the moment we are currently number 15 in the world, and we try to gain some leverage and get a step ahead and try to grow. As you can see here on market share, we have a lot of different markets we were able to serve. In this case, the next slide will probably give you a better idea. In this slide, you can see what kind of markets are for Kiwa there in the world, meaning that we have a very diverse market share, giving it a lot of variety within our portfolio. The testing, inspection and certification world has a very wide range of possibilities. So as you can see here, we are having a lot of customers in different directions. Maritime and offshore would be one of them, and we can easily combine our services for energy sectors or food, feed and farms. I'm now working for, let's say, 1.5 years at Kiwa, and I'm learning still every day what we were able to do and which companies were able to help with their certification progress. With these markets, we are also can see that there's a diversity in the services of Kiwa. Here we try to visualize what the services are for Kiwa and their customers. This example is a typical example for hydrogen system integration, meaning hydrogen is one of the new energy carriers where we think there will be a lot of development in the next coming decades. You see in the outer circle we have several parts of Kiwa, meaning we are able to do feasibility studies, we're able to do consultancy work on hydrogen related projects. But as soon as that project has maybe ended and people would like to go to market and try to see whether their component or car is able to be sold, for example, throughout the world in Europe, Kiwa is also able to do the certification of this component or vehicle or tank. We are accredited lab in Apeldoorn, meaning that we have ISO 17025 accreditation. So even in our global market, we are able to share that test results with different entities. Here you see an overview, as we call it, the hydrogen landscape. One of these parts, each pillar you see does mean a part of the whole supply chain of hydrogen. In Europe and in China and in Japan and well, a lot of other countries in the world, they are developing at the moment an infrastructure or planning to have an infrastructure where either hydrogen is added to the natural gas grid. Here at Kiwa we are able to share our knowledge within every pillar. So if you see at the latest standpoint, we have done a lot of development at Kiwa to improve our capabilities in the lab. For example, my lab does have an expansion plan for next year, and we roughly invest ourselves approximately 3 million euros to gain more leverage on the testing on tanks and components when it comes to hydrogen. So that right-hand pillar, marketplace, that would be the pillar which I am representing. So our lab does have a lot of expansion and planning ahead in the future time. And I would like to show you what kind of activities we have, what kind of lab we are. We call ourselves alternative fuels and pressure products, meaning it's a very wide range of possibilities which is able to be tested in our lab. Formerly we were the automotive department, but we see that there's a lot of change to other ways of mobility. For example, aeroplanes, boats, trains, for example, are all coming and knock on our door to see if there's any possibility to join Kiwa with well, consultancy or a certification or testing on several components. Formerly, we were, of course, the automotive department, and we still are, of course, accredited. So our data is ISO 17025, meaning that it can be used for several national entities. We ourselves are accredited as a technical service by the Dutch Vehicle Authority RDW, but we're also a technical service for the German automotive industry, the KBA. And the KBA is issuing then certification with an E number E1, and the RDW will issue certification numbers with E4. Well, this contribution with Kiwa and combination with these authority brings us to the next slide. So here you see two examples of certifications. One on the left is from the RDW, and the one on the right, we have done that with KBA. Before reaching an end certificate, there's a lot of testing involved and a lot of project management involved. So we are able to deliver the full package. What are we able to deliver? That's a very good question you're probably thinking of. There's a lot of standards in, let's say, the infrastructure, mobility, and high pressure related pressure products. On the left, you see a certain amount of standards we are having in our scope, meaning that we are able to do the certification for this standard. It is a combination of the testing and then the certification, some together with the German or the Dutch authority, but we can also work together with KHK from Japan and DOT of the US. With this, of course, pressure-related products are also mentioned in the ADR, the PED, and the TPED. Together with Kiwa Inspecta, that is a notifying body based in Sweden and Estonia. In Europe, we are able to provide PED and TPED approvals. And if you are very curious of what data we can handle, here's a list of some of the tests we can do. Well, a lot of tests are custom built, so meaning that we have to combine our knowledge together with the inquiry of the customer and see if we're able to perform a test on the way they would like to have it performed. These tests are not all done in Kiwa Apeldoorn. We have a restriction when it comes to safety, meaning that we cannot do, let's say, a bonfire on gas cylinders, and we cannot do ballistic tests. And finally, this would be the last slide. I would like to say that we think that Kiwa is really a one-stop shop for their customers, meaning that we can contribute from the beginning of the development of the product all the way to the end, to the certification and your entry to the market. I do hope this was always clear, and I'm really looking forward to your possible contacts. Thank you very much. Have a nice day and stay well.